Okay, Robert, let me know. JV game is almost over, so anyway, it looks like they got a lot of people here. Plainfield, of course, they're likely to bring a much bigger visiting crowd than most schools will, which is good, of course. And I got quite a few Plainfield fans, quite a few Cascade fans as well. Okay, the JV game is over now. So anyway, just let me know. And I'm ready to go whenever you are. So as soon as you give me the signal that that everything's coming through loud and clear, then I'll go ahead and start the 5-minute countdown. So anyway, really excited about this game tonight. Okay. So anyway, apparently Bizeau has just really exploded into, a really, all-state caliber player. I know he's committed to play for Duquesne next season, so it's, anyway, I know he's come a heck of a long way, in the last couple of years. And I guess Trey Davis has too, and even Siegfried has emerged as a very good player this year. So a lot of those guys that we called a couple of years ago in JV ball are really doing it now for the varsity. So glad to see that they're that they've really caught on so well, and so hopefully Cascade will. Okay, good. All right, well then I'll start the 5-minute countdown now. Well, hold on. Let me get to a stop. Let me get to a good point here. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 5 minutes from now. So anyway, and I'll try to give you a countdown like every 30 seconds at least. So anyway. Okay, 4 minutes and 30 seconds until we blast off. I'm just going through my. By the way, for those of you who are tuning in now, Cascade fans, we are going to be starting the broadcast in just a very short time. And now the two teams come out onto the field for the pregame warm-ups. 4 minutes to go now until we start the broadcast. So I'm really hoping for a great game here today. Three minutes and 30 seconds here. Three minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and do my Facebook check-in. Two minutes and 30 seconds. 2 minutes now. One minute and 30 seconds. One minute to go now. .45 seconds. .30 seconds. .15 seconds. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And blast off. Okay, hold on just a second here. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to Cascade High School in Clayton, Indiana. My name is Lec Zorn and I'll be bringing you all the action as the Plainfield Quakers challenge the Cascade Cadets in Hendricks County boys basketball. Well, last season these teams made two of the biggest turnarounds in the state, with Plainfield having its first winning season in 8 years and Cascade having its first in 5 years. This season, Plainfield has continued at about the same level, while Cascade got off to a slow start amid a couple of big losses to graduation, but has rebounded in the last few weeks and appears to be getting on track in time for the playoffs, which start in just 17 days. Now, Plainfield enters this game with a record of 11-7. They're led by dominating 6'11 senior Gavin Bizeau. He averages 21.8 points per game, which is 31st in the state, 11.4 rebounds per game, 10th in the state, and 3.5 blocks, which is 7th in the state. He's already committed to playing for Duquesne University next season, which is an NCAA Division I school in Pittsburgh. In addition, Bizeau gets a lot of help from his sharpshooting backcourt. 6'3 senior Sam Siegfried, after playing only 5 varsity games last season, averages 14.9 points and 4 rebounds per game, while 6'1 senior Trey Davis averages 11.9 points and a team-high 3 assists per game. The regular starters are rounded out by 6'3 freshman Aiden Buher with 3.7 points per game, and 6'3 junior Owen Litzelman with 2.4 points per game. Meanwhile, Cascade is led by 6'5 senior Dalton DuBois, who recently scored his 1,000th point in his high school career. He averages 18.3 points and 6.9 rebounds per game, but he is the only double-figure scorer for the Cadets. He's followed by 5'9 senior Michael Alderson with 8 points and a team-high 3 assists per game, while 6' senior Chase Western averages 4.8 points per game. 6'6 junior Benson Walker averages 4.1 points and 3.1 rebounds per game, and 5'11 junior Ross Stevenson averages 3.7 points per game. Plainfield's head coach is Andy Weaver, who's 47 and 83 in his 6th season with the Quakers, and 273 and 259 in his 24th season overall. He previously served as head coach for 3 seasons at Pioneer and 15 at Western, winning 6 sectionals and a regional at the latter school. Cascade's head coach is Chris Dubois, who's 124 and 183 in his 14th season with the Cadets. He's won 2 sectionals at the school. Well, at this time, we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening tip-off. Plainfield Cascade coming at you live next. The Tie-Dye Lab in Avon is a tie-dye studio designed for creating tie-dye apparel and taking the item home the same day, where shirts, hats, school logo apparel, and more can be made. Space is also available for group outings. They are located at 8100 East US Highway 36 in Avon, and more information can be found at thetiedyelab.com. That's thetiedyelab.com. Imagine, create, wear. The new Plainfield UPS is now hiring part-time package handlers and part-time supervisors for 3 different shifts: morning, evening, and late night. A weekly retention bonus, pension, benefits, and college tuition reimbursements are available for part-time UPS employees. More information on available positions, online applications, and scheduling an interview can be found at upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com. Chicago's Pizza in Plainfield offers a meeting room capable of handling business or family holiday functions. It's Kids Night on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8 p.m., and a lunch buffet is available Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They're located at 2230 Stafford Road in Plainfield. The number for more information is 317-837-1717. That's 317-837-1717. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we're just a few minutes away from the tip-off. We got the teams out here warming up and getting ready for the game. And I'd just like to say a few words for clarification for all the Cascade fans tuning in. You probably know that I am the voice of Cascade Sports, and I tend to get very emotional when I commentate Cascade home games. Well, tonight it's a little bit different because this game is also being broadcast on WYRZ 98.9 FM, the voice of Hendricks County, which serves all of Hendricks County, covers all of the Hendricks County basketball schools. So tonight I'm not going to be quite as much of a homer. It's true that I'm a Cascade guy first and foremost, but I'm also a Hendricks County guy, and I cheer for all of the Hendricks County teams anytime they're not playing Cascade. So anyway, I'm really just hoping for a great game tonight, and these are 2 teams that I want to see go a long way in the tournament. Unfortunately, because they're not in the same class, they won't be running into each other in the tournament. So anyway, it's great to be back here as always in Clayton, and I'm really glad to get to see Plainfield. This is the first time I've commentated the Plainfield boys all season. I've commentated the Plainfield girls on a couple of occasions. Once back in the Hendricks County basketball tournament, in which they beat Avon back in early January, and then in a game here at Cascade about 3 weeks ago. So, but a couple of years ago, my broadcast partner Rob Kindle and I were the regular broadcast crew for Plainfield, and a lot of the guys who were on the JV team then are now on the varsity now, and it's just great, tracking their progress. And I remember that season 2 years ago when their top 3 players now, Gavin Bizeau, Sam Siegfried, and Trey Davis, were all sophomores. I really didn't think much of any of them as players, and I thought Bizeau, because he was tall, he was around 6'8" or so at the time, I thought he would probably, maybe become a minor college prospect, but I thought he was just a lot of height and not much more. So I was really surprised when I saw what he had turned into last season, and then, of course, he's done even better this season. Two seasons ago as a sophomore, Bizeau averaged 3.8 points per game. Last year jumped all the way to 15.6, and this year he's doing even better, averaging 21.8, which, like I said, is 31st in the state. And he's already committed to play for Duquesne University. They're an NCAA Division I school out in Pittsburgh. Their nickname is, appropriately, the Dukes. And Duquesne, by the way, is spelled Duquesne. I guess it's French. I'm really not sure. Of course, that would be appropriate because, Bizeau, obviously a French-American. As ironically as Cascade's starting center, Dalton Dubois. So now Cascade has returned to the locker room for some final instructions before the game. Now, Cascade actually got off to a rough start at 5-10. They did return their best player from last season, Dalton Dubois, but they did lose their first and third leading scorers in Evan Birch, who's now playing at Franklin College, and point guard Alec Alderson. And sort of like with the girls losing Bailey Walker and Michaela Collier, but returning most of their other regular players, I really underestimated the loss of those two double-figure scorers for each team. And the girls they did play better down the stretch. After the 0-6 start, they did twice even the record at 500. And they ended up, one game under at 12-13, losing the sectional championship last week to South Putnam. And South Putnam, by the way, was eliminated today in the Speedway Regional in the morning game against Triton Central by a score of 65-40. So anyway, I live like 2 minutes away from Speedway High School, and hopefully one of these years I will be there covering the Cascade Lady Cadets in the regional there. I think probably it's not likely next year, but maybe 2 years from now when Carly Gibbs and Taylor Norris are seniors and Emma Parsons is a junior, then we might have a good shot, especially because next year both Western Boone and Cloverdale, who are going to be the top two teams probably in our sectional, are going to be hit very hard by graduation. So I look for Cascade really to get back into top form in 2 years. Next year is going to be very much a rebuilding year, and I still encourage you all to get out here, and support the girls, But like I said, they're only going to really return 3 girls who have significant varsity experience. I think the program's on the right track for the long term. It's just they lost 7 seniors this year, including 2 and possibly 3 who are going to play college ball. So next year is going to there are a lot of question marks heading into next season. So we'll do really good to go 500 next season. So now we got Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I always enjoy, as I often say, it's interesting how people become respectable from one generation to the next. Because when I was growing up in the 80s, one of the easiest ways to horrify your parents was to have an Ozzy Osbourne album. I mean, they'd think that you had really lost it and that they needed to go, get an exorcism performed on you. And now a generation later, we realize that Ozzy, he's not a perfect guy, but he's pretty harmless. He's real. He's a crude drunk, but he's not a malicious person by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I got a kick out of hearing him voice one of the characters in this this animated movie called Romeo and Juliet, which is like a little kid's version of Romeo and Juliet. Which means it does not end with the two kids, in a tragic way, like the Shakespeare version does. But anyway, it's now the teams are back on taking their final warm-ups before the game starts. And, you know, it's ironic. I covered these two teams last season on two occasions. First in the Hendricks County basketball tournament, and then in the regularly scheduled game, both of which, by the way, were played at Plainfield. And really, it was a and the two games were really night and day, where each team really pretty well dominated the other. In the game and the Hendricks County tournament game out at Plainfield, that was on January the 6th, and Cascade won 65-55. And the final score really is a little bit misleading because I think, if I remember correctly, I think Cascade outscored Plainfield by about 25 there in the second half. But then when the two teams played on February the 11th, 36 days later, also at Plainfield, it was a thoroughly dominating performance by the Quakers, who won by a score of 60-43. And one thing that I think, looking at this game, I think that obviously with Bizeau being 6'11", and him having a 5-inch height advantage on Walker, 6-inch height advantage on Du Bois, obviously he's going to be the go-to guy for Plainfield tonight. And at that, we'll pause for the national anthem. Well, thank you to Cascade for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And I'll tell you, I did not watch the Super Bowl. This is the first time. This was the first time that I have ever not watched the Super Bowl since the first one I watched, which was Super Bowl 13. So this season actually broke a streak of 39 Super Bowls watched for me. And I just, felt it was necessary to really send a message to the NFL that it's not so much the act of not standing for the national anthem. It's just the principle that I don't want politics shoved at me and then being told by the commentators how I'm supposed to feel about it, during a game. I'm a very political person, but, I think politics and sports should be kept separate, When I watch sports, that's, when I just take a brief diversion from all the problems in the world and just enjoy one of my great passions in life. So anyway, And hopefully the NFL learned its lesson from allowing politics to creep into the game, and they'll get it corrected for next season. And when I say corrected, I do mean Delbert Grady style, because, yeah, I think that's what it demands. So anyway, really looking to this game. I think that obviously, like I said, Gavin Bizeau is going to be the go-to guy for Plainfield, being that he's 6'11", and the best chance that the Cadets have is if they manage to deny him the ball, and then induce Siegfried and Davis to take a lot of three-point shots and hope that their shots just aren't falling tonight. This is a game in which Plainfield, if they took betting lines on high school games, Plainfield would probably be a 15 to 20-point favorite tonight. So now Bizeau jumping against Du Bois, the two French-Americans. It's tipped over to Owen Litzelman. He is a 6'3", junior for the Quakers. So not surprisingly, we're seeing an early double team of Bizeau. He also has a younger brother, Brock, who's and now inside the Bizeau turnaround jumper, and he hits it. He's got a nice touch on that jump shot. I'm really impressed with, the way that young man has just radically improved the last 2 years. I mean, 2 years ago, like I said, Rob Kendall and I, my broadcast partner, were the Plainfield radio crew a couple of years ago, and there were some games that he actually played JV that year. But then Bryson Phillips answers with a 3 for Plainfield. He's had some nice moments down the stretch. So, even with Du Bois graduating this year, now a baseline jumper no good by Bizeau, but we got a foul there on the rebound. It's going to be on Stevenson. Now, another baseline jumper, no good. Du Bois the rebound this time. So Cascade with the ball in a 3-2 lead. So now Alderson pitches over to Phillips. Now over to Tharp. Now Tharp drives down to the baseline, pitches out to Du Bois at the right perimeter. Now he drives to the baseline, and it's stripped away, knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 6:23 to go. Now, one thing about Du Bois is that he is a fairly good three-point shooter. So, he's not likely to get a lot of points posting up on Bizeau, who's 7th in the state in block shots. Du Bois, has had a lot of good shooting games from outside this season. So now Du Bois, a nice fake move, and he puts it up and in. He faked out Siegfried there. So it's a 5-2 lead for Cascade. The Cadets started off 5-10. Now they've won 4 in a row. They would even their record with the win tonight. Now jumper just inside the free throw line by Bizeau, and he draws the foul. But Cascade actually, and the foul's on Tharp, by the way. And Bizeau's first free throw is no good off the back of the rim. Second free throw is good. So Bizeau with 3 points. He has all of Plainfield's points, and Cascade leads 5-3 here. And now a three-pointer by Mason Tharp, so it's an 8-3 Cascade lead. 3 different Cadets have scored. Now a three-pointer from the corner by Bizeau, in and out. And now, however, Siegfried gets it and puts it right back in. So it's an 8-5 game now. And now we got a foul there. I think they're going to get Litzelman there for the reach-in on Alderson. Siegfried, excuse me. And now we got an over and back violation there against Cascade, so Plainfield will take over. So Siegfried with the ball now over to Bucher, the only freshman starting for either team tonight. No good on the three-pointer. Rebound by Bucher, however. And now across court to Siegfried, puts up a three. No good, just grazes the rim. And now Du Bois gets the rebound on a tip. Now gives it up to Alderson feeds Stevenson, and he lays it in. So now, and we got a timeout Plainfield, so very good start for Cascade. 4:43 to go here in the first quarter at Clayton. The Cadets trying to get what very well could be their biggest win of the season so far. They entered this game with a record of 9-10. Through their first 15 games, they were 5-10 and had never won consecutive games all season. And, in fact, they really had an odd pattern. They lost their first game, then won their second. Then they went through they never lost more than two in a row, but they never won more than one in a row. They just, kept on basically losing it about 2 out of every 3. Then finally they started getting on track. To me, they really started finding themselves in a game on Tuesday, January 16th, when they beat South Putnam 63-48. Now, they did lose their next 2 games to very good teams, Indian Creek and Cloverdale, but they haven't lost since. And granted, their schedule in the last 4 games and during this winning streak has been relatively easy with North Putnam Speedway, Bethesda Christian, and Eminence. Nevertheless, and Siegfried puts in a turnaround jumper. He has 4 to lead the Quakers, and they cut the lead to 3. It's 10-7 Cascade now. But nevertheless, Cascade, like I said, they didn't win. And now Stevenson fakes a 3, drives to the baseline, now pitches to a driving Tharp. He puts it up. It's blocked, I think, by Bizeau. However, Cascade controls the rebound, gives it up to Du Bois, lays it up. No good. Rolls in and out. And now at the other end, we've got a palming violation against Plainfield. But anyway, like I said, after not having a winning streak through 15 games, now all of a sudden Cascade has won 4 in a row, and 3 of their wins coming by double figures. And again, it's the weakest point of the schedule, especially with the last 2 opponents, Bethesda Christian and Eminence, being 1A teams with losing records. Still, the team overall has been playing better, and they've been finding more balance. The early, and now they got a foul against, another foul against Plainfield. It looks like it was a reach-in looks like he reached in on Stevenson. But yeah, it was Cade Gibbs there on the foul. He is a 6'3" junior. I wonder if he's related to Cascade's 5'10" sophomore Carly Gibbs. Maybe they're cousins. So now Du Bois, beautiful behind the back pass. No good though on the short shot by Stevenson off the rim. That was a beautiful move though by Du Bois. He faked a 3, then it was an outstanding behind the back pass. I mean, it would have been really good highlight reel material had the shot gone. Nevertheless, Cascade off to a very good start, a 10-7 lead. But, the early season, it was really tough to get any significant offense out of anybody other than Du Bois. Now, in recent games, Tharp and Phillips have shown signs of stepping up, as has Benson Walker. So, and now a drive to the basket by Bizeau, and he draws the foul. going to be a foul against Walker. So Bizeau's first free throw is good. He's a 67% free throw shooter on the season. And he hit them both. He has 5 now. 3 of 4 from the line tonight. And it's a 10-9. And now wide open for 3 by Alderson. In and out. And a struggle for the rebound, and it is tipped over to Trey Davis. And now Davis puts up a 3, and he hits it. And those are his first points of the game, and Plainfield goes back up in the lead. That's their first lead since 2-0, and it's 12-10 now. And now the other end, three-pointer there by Mason Tharp. No good off the rim. Struggle for the rebound. And Benson Walker gets it, puts it up, and no good. Rebound there by Bizeau. So now Plainfield with the ball and a 2-point lead. Bizeau pitches inside. Now it's good ball movement there and a 3. No good by Booher, and the ball goes out of bounds there to Cascade. So Dylan Compliment coming into the game now for Cascade. While Bryson Phillips sitting down with 3 points so far. 2:11 to go here in the first quarter. We have a pretty nice crowd here tonight. It's actually Plainfield, really has traveled well tonight. Plainfield just about 10 miles down US 40 from here. And a 4A school, so obviously a good fan base. Now, wide open 3 there by Tharp, no good. Walker goes for the rebound, but it's tipped out of bounds to Cascade. Benson Walker is going to be the go-to guy in the middle next year after Dalton DuBois graduates. Walker has, shown some promise down the stretch. Really earlier in the season, I really thought next season might be a really long rebuilding season for Cascade. Now I think it's going to be a little better when I look at the way that Tharp and Phillips and Walker, among others, have played down the stretch. So we're going to be bringing back at least 4 guys who have a lot of varsity experience next season. So we're going to be returning a little more experience than will the girls. So now Walker, pass inside to DuBois. Triple teamed, tipped away, but, he gets it back, and he's fouled with 1:18 to go here in the first quarter. You're listening to Hendricks County Basketball here on WYRZ 98.9 LP Brownsburg. And now Alderson's pass to DuBois, tipped away, stolen there by Plainfield, and drive and layup by Davis is good. So he has 5 points in a row now, and it's a 14-10 lead for the Quakers. That's the most they've led by all game. A minute to go now in the first quarter. And now Alderson draws a foul there. 56.9 seconds to go. It's going to be on Davis. That's the first foul on Trey Davis. Now pitch inside to Tharp. Over to Phillips now. Now to Compliment. To Tharp, inside to Walker, posts up on Bizeau. Blocked. Bizeau gets the rebound after the block appropriately. Now pitches it over. Now a three-pointer. No good off the back of the rim. Walker tips the rebound over there to Chase Western. Now Phillips controlling the ball for Cascade. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Plainfield up by 4. Now we got a collision there between Walker and Tyler Maple of Plainfield, and Maple is going to get called for the foul. That's the 5th Quakers foul of the first quarter. There have been 4 against Plainfield. Now, Booher, the only freshman starter for either team. Hold that thought. Now inside to Walker, no good on the layup. And now 3 seconds left. Long three just inside half court, and he hit it! Oh, my God. No, they're counting it no good. It must have been optic illusion. I apologize for that. Anyway, at the end of 1 quarter of play here tonight in this boys basketball action in Hendricks County, the Plainfield Quakers lead the Cascade Cadets by a score of 14-10, and we will be back with the second quarter after these words from our sponsors. The Tie-Dye Lab in Avon is a tie-dye studio designed for creating tie-dye apparel and taking the item home the same day, where shirts, hats, school logo apparel, and more can be made. Space is also available for group outings. They're located at 8100 East US Highway 36 in Avon, and more information can be found online at thetiedyelab.com. Imagine, create, wear. The new Plainfield UPS is now hiring part-time package handlers and part-time supervisors for 3 different shifts, morning, evening, and late night. A weekly retention bonus, pension, benefits, and college tuition reimbursements are available for part-time UPS employees. More information on available positions, online applications, and scheduling and interview can be found at upsjobs.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we just did start the second quarter with the Plainfield Quakers leading the Cascade Cadets 14-12. So now inside to Benson Walker, and he draws the foul on Dalton Dubois, Dalton Dubois draws the foul on Gavin Bizeau and will go to the line to complete a 3-point play. So, I wasn't sure how much success Bizeau or Walker would have posting up on. Dubois is good on the free throw, by the way. He has 5 points to lead the Cadets, cutting the lead to 1. But I wasn't sure how much success either Dubois or Walker at 6'5" and 6'6" respectively would have posting up on the 6'11" Bizeau. But it's a good job there by Dubois. And certainly, he's playing like he thinks there are going to be some college scouts in attendance tonight. And now a three-pointer banked in there by Siegfried. He has a game-high 7 points now. And now a steal there by Siegfried, and he dunks it. Oh, my God. So Siegfried with 9, and all of a sudden, after Cascade cuts it to 1, then Siegfried runs off 5 consecutive points. He has 9 now, and it's a 19-13 Plainfield lead with 7:12 to go here in the second quarter, and Cascade takes a full timeout. Chicago's Pizza in Plainfield offers a meeting room capable of handling business or family holiday functions. It's kids' nights on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8, and they have a lunch buffet Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They're located at 2230 Stafford Road in Plainfield. The number for more information is 317-837-1717. That's 317-837-1717. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to resume play here in the second quarter with Plainfield leading the host Cascade Cadets by a score of 19-13. It's a game in which Cascade started off the second quarter with a strong three-point play by Dalton Dubois over Plainfield center Gavin Bizeau. However, Sam Siegfried then quickly scored 5 points for Plainfield, 1 on a three-pointer and then on a breakaway dunk. So now Dubois puts it up, blocked by Bizeau. However, Compliment gets the rebound and puts it in. So Compliment with his first points. So now it's a 19-15, so Cascade hanging in there. Now Bizeau drives, lays it up in easily. So Gavin Bizeau with 7 points now, and it's a 21-15 Plainfield lead. So now Compliment drives the baseline, pitches to a wide open, and I think they got Du Bois laid it open. Looked like he was uncontested. Du Bois rushed over going for a block, but he ended up committing the foul, so that's the second on Bizeau. Obviously, Cascade would love to get him in foul trouble. Du Bois has 5 points to lead the Cadets, make it 6. It did 2 consecutive complete revolutions around the rim before falling. So that it was just waiting, for the waiting for it to fall before I completed my speech there. So Du Bois hits them both. He has 7 now. 5 Cadets have scored, 21-17. So now Brock Bizeau into the game for Gavin, and no good on a turnaround jumper there. Brock Bizeau is a 6'7" junior, so certainly, he'll be the Quakers. They lose all 3 of their significant scores to graduation this season, Bizeau, Siegfried, and Davis. So Brock Bizeau certainly is going to be the go-to guy in the middle next year for the Quakers. Booher now bringing it up. Aiden Booher for Plainfield. Quakers with a 4-point lead. 5:36 to go here in the second quarter at Clayton. Now a three-pointer there is good there. That was Trey Davis. He has 8 points. Siegfried has 9, Bizeau 7. So the same 3 guys who've done most of the action on offense for Plainfield this season, doing all the action so far tonight. Now Michael Alderson with the ball, fakes a 3, goes down to the baseline, looks for an open man. He's being very heavily guarded by Booher, the freshman. And now we got Cascade takes a timeout with 5:03 to go here in the second quarter. You're listening to Hendricks County basketball here on WYRZ 98.9 LP Brownsburg. My name is Lec Zorn. And by the way, for those of you who are listening on the radio, if you would like to see this game with video, just go to audiosportsonline.com and click on Cascade Cadets basketball. And we're, bringing you, you'll be hearing exactly what you're hearing on the radio, but you'll see video in addition to that. So anyway, now the two teams return to the floor here. So Alderson will inbound for Plainfield, or for Cascade, into Du Bois. Now Du Bois drives to the baseline. Oh, aggressive move. He made a lot of contact there with Brock Bizeau, and I think they're going to call Bizeau for blocking. Yes, so they got 2 fouls on Gavin, 1 on Brock. So Du Bois now on the free throw, no good after rolling around again quite a bit. Du Bois hit them both last time. He hits the second one this time. Du Bois with a team high 8, and it's 24-18. So Booher over to Davis, inside to Brock Bizeau. Now down to baseline jumper, no good. Siegfried tried to get the rebound, but tips it over to Compliment, who gives it up to Phillips, who brings it past midcourt for the Cadets, trying to hang in there, trailing by 6, nearly a quarter and a half into this game. These two teams near the end of the regular. And now inside to Du Bois, who lays it in. So somebody lost his man there, and Du Bois cuts the lead to 4. It's and Du Bois with 10 of his team's 20 points now, exactly half. He's for the first half of the season, he scored right around half of our points. Now, as we've gotten a little more balanced later and we've been winning more, it's not quite that dramatic a difference. Now a missed jump shot by Plainfield. Alderson brings it up for Cascade. Now gives it over to Compliment. Back to Alderson. Fakes a three. Drives to the baseline. It's stripped away, however, and stolen there by Tyler Maple. And now a jump shot from the baseline, no good by Brock Bizeau. Nice save attempt there by Booher, but it's Alderson gets it. He gives it over to Justin Hurst, who drains a jump shot, and we're within two again, 24-22 now. So six different players have scored for Cascade. Only three for Plainfield. Now a jump shot, no good by Booher, and then put back, no good by Brock Bizeau. Alderson now down court, and now wide open three by Du Bois. He hit it. So Du Bois with a game high 13, and Plainfield goes up 25-24. This would be not a monumental upset, but a fairly big upset. And Quakers take a 30-second timeout. It's an 8-0 lead there by the Quakers, by the Cadets, excuse me. So you got to admire the teamwork that you've seen of Cascade. The one weakness that Plainfield does have over Cascade is not as much scoring balance. Cascade does not have great scoring balance by any means, but they are, doing better down the stretch, especially, on this 4-game winning streak that they're on. And keep in mind, they had not been on a winning streak at all prior to these 4 games. And meanwhile, Plainfield, almost all of their offense this season has come from 3 guys, and it's the same 3 guys tonight who've done all the scoring. Siegfried, Gavin Bizeau, and Davis. And Cascade's really been taking advantage of, and now Gavin Bizeau, not surprisingly, back into this game. Plainfield obviously hoping he will not commit another foul here in this quarter. And now a hook shot by Bizeau. He hits it. He has 9 now, tying for the team lead. And Plainfield goes back up by 1, 2:42 to go here in the second quarter at Clayton. So now Du Bois fakes the 3, then goes inside, 2-point jump shot, no good. Rebound there by Tyler Maple. Now over to Davis, now inside, now into the Bizeau. Now over for a baseline jumper by Maple, no good. And Cascade comes away with the rebound, gives it up to Alderson. Now over to Du Bois, to Tharp, now over to Michael Alderson near the midcourt line, 2:02 to go. Now he drives into the lane, puts it up, tries to draw the foul on Bizeau, doesn't get a call. His shot is no good. Now Trey Davis brings it down. Now pitches over, now three-pointer is good there. That was Braden Chapman. So now it's a steal and and lays it in there by Aiden Booher with his first point. So all of a sudden Chapman and Booher each with their first points of the game, and it's just like that, a 7-0 run by the Quakers after Cascade finally got its first lead. Now Alderson with his first points. Somebody lost his man on defense. Alderson was wide open. He was open from here to Plainfield, in fact. So now Plainfield with the ball. No good there by Chapman. However, Bizeau gets the rebound and easily lays it in, putting Plainfield back up by 6. 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. You're listening to Hendricks County Basketball here on 98.9 FM, 98.9 LP Brownsburg. And now Alderson takes it in, no good with a 10-foot jumper. Davis gets it, brings it back down over to Chapman, now over to Davis for 3. In and out, and struggle for the loose ball. And now Bizeau gets it, and he loses control of it, but I think they're going to say he was fouled. Cascade not in the bonus. That's only the 5th foul against Cascade, so it's not a shooting foul. And it goes against Benson Walker. So now a three-pointer by Trey Davis, no good. And the rebound by Chapman gives it up to Davis, no good. Now a putback, no good. And Phillips comes away with the rebound, 17 seconds to go. He gives it up to Du Bois. Now back to Phillips, 12 seconds to go in the half. 8 seconds to go now. Phillips coming off a pick by Du Bois. Pitches out for a three. In and out. Bizeau the rebound, and he doesn't get a shot off. So we're at halftime now with Plainfield on top of Cascade 33-27. We'll be back with the recap after these words from our sponsors. You're listening to Hendricks County Basketball on 98.9 LP Brownsburg. The Tie-Dye Lab in Avon is a tie-dye studio designed for creating tie-dye apparel and taking the item home the same day, where shirts, hats, school logo apparel, and more can be made. Space is also available for group outings. They're located at 8100 East U.S. Highway 36 in Avon, and more information can be found online at theTieDyeLab.com. Imagine, create, wear. The new UPS Plainfield is now hiring part-time package handlers and part-time supervisors for 3 different shifts: morning, evening, and late night. A weekly retention bonus, pension, benefits, and college tuition reimbursements are available for part-time UPS employees. More information on available positions, online applications, and scheduling an interview can be found at upsjobs.com. Chicago's Pizza in Plainfield offers a meeting room capable of handling business or family holiday functions. It's kids' nights on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8, and a lunch buffet is available Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They're located at 2230 Stafford Road in Plainfield. The number for more information is 317-837-1717. That's 317-837-1717. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we're at halftime of this Hendricks County boys basketball game with the Plainfield Quakers leading the host Cascade Cadets by a score of 33-27. It's a game in which Plainfield clearly had the upper hand early. The Quakers, a 4A team, entering the game at 11-7, while the Cadets, a 2A team, though on a 4-game winning streak, entering at a record of 9-10. And obviously Plainfield having a huge advantage with one of the best centers in the state in 6'11", Gavin Bizeau. And so Plainfield led 14-11 at the end of one quarter, and then led by 24-17 early in the second quarter before Bizeau was benched after his second foul, and then suddenly the Cadets ran off 8 points in a row to take a 25-24 lead. However, then Bizeau returned to the game and then hit a hook shot, followed by then a sudden blur from Sam Siegfried. He had a three-pointer, then made a steal and converted it into a breakaway dunk. And the Quakers have led ever since, the current score now being 33-27 at the half. A look at the individual scoring, first of all, for the Plainfield Quakers. Gavin Bizeau leads the way with 11, followed by Sam Siegfried with 9, Trey Davis with 8, Braden Chapman with 3, and and Aiden Booher with 2. Meanwhile, for the Cascade Cadets, 7 players have scored. However, only Dalton DuBois has more than 3. He has 13. He's followed by Bryson Phillips with 3, Mason Tharp with 3, Michael Alderson with 2, Justin Hurst with 2, Ross Stevenson with 2, and Dylan Compliment with 2. So, looking ahead to the second half, I think that the best chance that Plainfield has will be, to get Bizeau in foul trouble. So, and I've noticed already the players have been driving a lot as if they're trying to pick up fouls from him. They've gotten 2 so far. If they can get his third foul in the first couple of minutes or so of the third quarter and then, get him back on the bench, that's going to be their best shot to make another run, because really they have not shown that they can contain him as long as he's in the game. And really, another thing that they would have to hope for is that if he does go on the bench with his third foul early in the third, then hope that he's playing more timidly when he comes back into the game. But, again, I really am just awed by how much that young man, Bizeau, has improved. I remember, like I said, when I was Plainfield's commentator 2 years ago, even seeing him at one point around the midway point of the season playing on the JV team and thinking that he probably was going to be no more than a Division III player, and now 2 years later, here he is, he's 31st in the state in scoring, 10th in rebounding, 7th in blocks, now on his way to play for a Division I school, Duquesne University, out in Pittsburgh. So much congratulations to that young man, and also to the 2 other senior starters for the Quakers, Siegfried and Davis, should be playing college ball somewhere. And really, both of these guys, those 2 backcourt guys are 2 guys who've improved dramatically during their high school careers. 2 years ago, Trey Davis was a 3-point guy. Last year goes up to 13. And then Siegfried only played 5 varsity games last year, and this year he's averaging 14 a game. So, and both of those guys should be playing low-level college basketball next year as well. So, anyway, it's certainly been there have been a lot of stories of big improvement for Andy Weaver during his 6 seasons there with Plainfield. He took over a team that had gone 1-20 the season before. He had started off with a couple of 5-16 seasons, then followed that with a couple of 6-17 seasons, and then finally got over the hump, with his first winning season for the Quakers last season, and now trying to, keep the team moving up the ladder, trying to, get them their first sectional championship this season. And, it's ironic that Plainfield actually, that they won the Class 3A state championship back in 1999. They have not won a sectional since. So certainly, they're really hoping to finally to get over the hump. And, they've got that's a pretty evenly matched sectional there, which they host, by the way. So, and, ironically, of course, last year Plainfield, they went 14-10, which was an 8-game improvement. And it was the victory over Cascade a year ago tomorrow, which was another WYRZ game in which Plainfield clinched a winning season. And again, with the Quakers game at 11-7, they will again clinch a winning season if they get a win night. But anyway, before we get to the second half, I'd also like to talk a little bit about the girls' season, because the girls' tournament is going on right now here in Hendricks County, and we had two of our 7 girls teams won their sectional championships. Brownsburg won the Avon sectional last week and then advanced to the Decatur Central Regional today, where unfortunately the Lady Bulldogs were eliminated in the semifinal round in the morning game by Warren Central, losing in overtime by a score of 58-50. However, on the bright side, over in the Danville sectional, the Danville Lady Warriors did advance. They beat the Cardinal Ritter Lady Raiders by a score of 52-37 and advance tonight to the championship game, in which they will play the Owen Valley they will play the Owen Valley Lady Patriots, who got a 52-46 win over Benton Central. And being that Owen Valley's game apparently was quite a bit tougher, 6-point margin versus 13, or by 15, excuse me. I'm hoping that, Owen Valley wore itself down a lot more and will pave the way for a Danville win tonight. It would be the second consecutive regional championship for the Lady Warriors. And they returned the same starting five from last year's team, although the three of their starters are now seniors. Addie Collier, Bailey Muse, and I believe Jenna Cowart is the third. But it should be noted, however, that the best player for the Lady Warriors is actually only a sophomore, 5'11", Ella Collier, who I believe will be a Miss Basketball candidate in just a couple of years. So certainly, hopefully we'll have the Lady Warriors playing in the semi-state a week from tonight, and hopefully for the state championship 2 weeks from tonight. And hopefully I'll be there commentating both times. So now, to start off, Du Bois tries to lay it in over Bizeau, but no good and no foul called. Now Davis on the other end, no good on a three. Du Bois, a valiant effort for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. So Alderson brings it up, 7:22 to go here in the third quarter. Plainfield 33, Cascade 27. You're listening to Hendricks County basketball here on 98.9 LP Brownsburg, the voice of Hendricks County. And now we've got to travel there by Phillips. So Booher inbounding to Bizeau, who drives at the basket, no good on a layup, however, and Cascade controls the rebound. Now Phillips brings it up. Pitches over to Michael Alderson, coming off a pick by Du Bois now. Oh, now an alley-oop, and it's good there. I believe it was Tharp who threw the pass there, so Du Bois has a game-high 15 now. And it's a steal there by Stevenson. Pitches down to Tharp. Wide open layup. Puts too much on it, though. No good. And rebound there by Siegfried. Wasted opportunity there. Could have cut it to two. And Siegfried takes it coast to coast and lays it in. So it should have been a 2-point game. Now it's back up to 6. So Siegfried with the 11, tying Bizeau for the team lead. And now that three-pointer from the corner is good, however, by Tharp. He has 6. He had another three-pointer early, and it's a 3-point game with 6:07 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. Bizeau, good. Uncontested rebound by Du Bois. So Cascade can tie it with a 3 here. So Alderson now pitches inside to a driving Du Bois. He pitched behind his back, tried to hit Stevenson. Didn't quite get the job done, but there was a foul against the Quakers. A non-shooting foul, the first foul of the half on either team. That's going against Booher. So Phillips will bring it up for Cascade. The Cadets hanging in there a little tougher than I expected. Du Bois with the ball on the baseline. Jumper. He hits it. So Du Bois with 17 and cuts the lead to 1. 35-34. Now wide open, a 3. No good. However, Siegfried right there on top of it, he tips it in and pushes the lead back up to 3. Siegfried with a team-high 13 for Plainfield. It's 37-34 Plainfield over Cascade. Now a fake on the 3 by Tharp. Now coming off a pick by Tharp is Bryson Phillips. He gives it over to Ross Stevenson. Drives into the lane. It's knocked away out of bounds to Plainfield. So good defensive effort there by the Quakers. They have a 3-point lead and now a blown coverage there, and Bizeau had a wide open layup. He had 13, tying Siegfried for the team lead, 39-34. And now a ball stripped from Phillips, and now pass down court to driving Davis, who lays it in. And now all of a sudden it's 6 points in a row since Cascade had it down to 1. So disappointing start to the second half for Cascade. Nevertheless, overall, it's been a fairly good performance by Cascade, and they've come in with probably about as good a game plan as they realistically could have, considering what they're up against. Most teams in Indiana, most teams in high school basketball, period, don't have a 6'11 center. Most of the time, even for, real big schools, their center's not above 6'5", 6'6". So, a lot of teams go a whole season without going against anybody 6'11". So when you're a team that doesn't have anybody anywhere close to that size, you got to be creative. And Cascade has been. I mean, they've come up with a game plan that really probably maximized their chance to be competitive tonight. And they've been competitive. I mean, they're only down by 7, nearly 2.5 quarters into this game. And, it's been a solid, I would say, B, maybe B-plus performance by the Cadets tonight. I mean, I think I can count on one hand the number of bad mistakes they've made so far. So now Phillips over to Alderson. Brings it past midcourt for the Cadets. 4:16 to go here in the third quarter. Stevenson fakes a 3, now pitches over to Alderson, drives the baseline. He's double-teamed, and now there's the ball comes loose. Bizeau gets it. He pitches down to a driving Davis, and now we've got a under the basket with 3:59 to go here in the third quarter. It's going to be on Phillips. So now compliment coming in for Phillips now for Cascade. So now Bizeau, jumper just inside the free throw line is good. He has a team-high 15. And so it's now an 8-point run there by the Quakers to push the lead from 1 to 9. Stevenson with the ball now thinks about a 3. Now gives it up to Alderson. Now Alderson drives over to the left perimeter, then gives it up to Tharp, who takes it over, now hands off to Stevenson, who tries to drive into the lane, and now we got a steal attempt there, and it's going to be a foul called against Booher, who puts his hands on his hips as if he can't believe it, although it looked like a good call to me. 3:22 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. Plainfield 43, Cascade 34. Got a crowd of about 600 or 700 now, about equally divided between Cascade and Plainfield fans. Plainfield traveling very well tonight. Like I said, Plainfield just 10 miles down U40. And for a school with obviously a big fan base. So now inside to Du Bois, and he draws, putting it up. Du Bois go to the line. I think they're going to get Siegfried on that one. It's going to go on Davis. That's his second. So Du Bois hits the first free throw. He has a game-high 18. I apologize. It's Lexi Riggles, who's the other senior starter for Danville. Jenna Coward is a junior. So Du Bois hits them both. He has a game-high 19, cutting the lead to 7. 3:11 to go here in the third quarter, so Cascade still within striking distance. Booher brings it up. So now Siegfried over to, now across the court, over to Booher, inside to Bizeau, turns around, pitches back out, and now a jumper, no good there by Cameron Schurig. Cascade controls the rebound now. Dylan Compliment over to Du Bois, puts up a long three. And now we got a foul, however. And like I said earlier, Du Bois is a, and there's a foul. It's a foul on the rebound on Stevenson, by the way. That's only the second Cascade foul of the half. So now, Bizeau with the ball, pitches over to Davis, fakes the three, drives inside, and he pitches into Siegfried, who dunks it. So Siegfried with 15, tying Bizeau for the team lead. Davis has 10, by the way. And Plainfield goes back up by 9. And now they got a foul there by Davis. He knocked Tharp down. And he looked a little bit mad at himself for doing so. So 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. Plainfield on top of Cascade, 45-36, excuse me. Compliment inbounds to Alderson. Back over to the compliment, back to Alderson, now coming off a pick. Alderson for three, he hit it. Boy, did they ever need that one. Alderson with 5 now, cutting the lead to 6, 1:54 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. So now Booher fakes the three, now pitches over to Bizeau, and who drives, and now we've got a foul here. I think it's going to be against, I think it's going to be a reach in against Cascade. It's going to be on Western. I believe that's his first. Only the team third. So now inside to Bizeau, who gives it up to Chapman, who had a 3 earlier. Now Chapman takes another 3. No good. Booher, the 6'3 freshman. And inside to Bizeau, puts it up off the glass, and he hits it. Bizeau with the team high 17. He averages 21.8 on the season, which is 31st in the state. Now Du Bois, who they obviously need very badly, set to come back into the game for Cascade at the next dead ball. 1:06 to go now. Western now over to Compliment for 3. No good, in and out. Bizeau the rebound. Gives it up to Booher. Dribbles behind his back, brings it past midcourt. Gives it up to Bizeau. And now over to Schurig, inside to Siegfried. He's blocked, and now I think they're going to get Siegfried for the foul on the rebound. Yes, it is going to be on Siegfried. That's his second. And, after Bizeau got his second foul in the second quarter, and then sat down while Cascade went on that run to take the lead 25-24, I figured that Cascade's best chance was to get Bizeau, like I said at the half, to get him his third foul early in the second half, but it hasn't happened yet, and now Bizeau just sits down for probably just the rest of the quarter. So it looks like, he's pretty safe for the rest of the game, which obviously plays well into his favor, to Plainfield's favor. So now 8-point lead there by the by the Quakers. 23 seconds to go in the quarter. Now we got a kicked ball there. So Cascade will be inbounding. 47-39 your score. Cascade hanging tough, but just doesn't quite have the horses for the Quakers tonight. Who features star 6'11" center Gavin Bizeau. And now it's inbounds pass is stolen there by Maple. Now Booher controlling the ball, 14 seconds to go. And almost a steal there by Du Bois. It looks like Plainfield's holding for the last shot, 7 seconds to go now. And we got a foul there as Booher drove by. It's going to be on Phillips. And Gavin Bizeau comes in to close out the quarter. So 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Now inside to Davis. Now to Booher for three. No good, in and out. And Western picks it up, and he throws three-quarters court. Comes close, but doesn't quite get it. So we go to the fourth quarter here at Clayton. Plainfield leading by a score of 47-39. You're listening to WYRZ 98.9 FM LP Brownsburg. It's been quite a... hold that thought. The Tie-Dye Lab in Avon is a tie-dye studio designed for creating tie-dye apparel and taking the item home the same day, where shirts, hats, school logo apparel, and more can be made. Space is also available for group outings. They are located at 8100 East US Highway 36 in Avon, and more information can be found at thetiedyelab.com. That's thetiedyelab.com. Imagine, create, wear. The new UPS in Plainfield is now hiring part-time package handlers and part-time supervisors for 3 different shifts, morning, evening, and late night. A weekly retention bonus, pension, benefits, and college tuition reimbursements are available for part-time UPS employees. More information on available positions, online applications, and scheduling an interview can be found at upsjobs.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we just started the fourth quarter with the Plainfield Quakers on top of the Cascade Cadets 47-39 in boys basketball action here in Hendricks County. And then Siegfried lays it in there to push the lead up to 10. That's a game-high lead for the Quakers. Siegfried and Bizeau tying for the team lead. 17 apiece. So Du Bois with the ball now over to Phillips. Now over to Hurst. Back over to now a three-pointer from Western from the corner. In and out. And rebounded by Bizeau. So now a three-pointer there is good there by Davis. So Davis now with 13. And now it's a 13-point lead there by the Quakers. 7:03 to go here in the game. And now inside to Du Bois. Puts it up over Bizeau, and he hits it. So nice shot by Du Bois, who has now has 19 to lead all scorers. Now three-pointer by Davis, no good. Tipped in, however, by Siegfried, who has 19 of his own now. So Plainfield really starting to break this game open since about the middle of the third quarter. Certainly a big key for the Quakers has been Gavin Bizeau avoiding picking up that third foul, and now we got a reach in there as the ball pitched into Benson Walker. No, I apologize. Du Bois has 21, which is a game high. So anyway, now a foul on Siegfried. That's his third. Now inbounds pass, however, tipped and stolen there by Chapman there. And now Bizeau, a three-pointer. And he hits it after a couple of bounces. So Bizeau now with a team high 20. And Bizeau actually that was his 16th three-pointer on the season, so he actually, does have that kind of range. Certainly that's another thing to like about him, going into college, that, he can really stick it from long range as well as short range. And now he gets the rebound there, takes it down himself, puts it up, and draws the foul. And, Bizeau, he has 20 now as he goes to the line for 2 more. And it sounds funny to say this, but it's really been a quiet 20. I mean, he scored, I don't think he scored more than maybe 6 or 7 in any quarter tonight. So 5:40 to go here in the game. And it looks like Plainfield is going to clinch their second consecutive winning season, a nice way to recover from 7 consecutive losing seasons, while Cascade's 4-game winning streak will come to an end, the first winning streak they had all season. So now Bizeau, another hook shot, no good, puts a little too much on it. Dubois, the rebound, gives it up to Tharp, inside to Stevenson. Now out to Dubois for 3, and he hits it. So Dubois with a game-high 24, and Dubois certainly helping his college stock that he's, scored so well against such a marquee opponent. So Bizeau at the other end. And now the pass nearly mishandled by Davis, but he saves it over to Buher. Now over to Bizeau, back to Buher. So now Bizeau inside, and now it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade, 4:52 to go. Cascade down by 12. They're not completely out of it, but they need to get some offense going very quickly. So inside to Tharp, fakes a jump shot, pitches over to Stevenson, knocked out of bounds to Cascade. Once again, you're listening to Hendricks County basketball here on 98.9 FM LP Brownsburg, the voice of Hendricks County. My name is Lec Zorn. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you with me and to be bringing you Hendricks County boys basketball. Now a three-pointer there by Phillips is good. He has 6. He had a three-pointer earlier. So we're back into single. We're back to a single-digit deficit now with 4:11 to go. But Bizeau takes a 3, no good. Rebounded, however, by Chapman. Now over to Bizeau again, but he travels. I'm sorry, that was Siegfried. Excuse me, Siegfried. So now Cascade with an outside shot to make a run. Not a very good shot, but with 4:04 to go here. They've got the ball with a 9-point deficit. Chicago's Pizza in Plainfield offers a meeting room capable of handling business or family holiday functions. It's kids' night on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8 p.m., and a lunch buffet is available Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They're located at 2230 Stafford Road in Plainfield. The number for more information is 317-837-1717. That's 317-837-1717. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Well, back here at Clayton, we're almost midway through the fourth quarter in this Hendricks County boys basketball game with the Plainfield Quakers on top of the Cascade Cadets by a score of 56-47. Plainfield's 6'11 center Gavin Bizeau, bound for Duquesne University, is, of course, the story of the game. He leads all scorers with 20 points, but Cascade has been hanging tough thanks to 24 points for Dalton Dubois. The Cadets now with a 9-point deficit and the ball. So Dubois pitches over now to Phillips, over to Alderson now to Tharp for three. No good off the front of the rim. However, rebound is controlled there by, it's tipped over to Phillips, and he's fouled. So, and I believe that will put the Cadets in the bonus for the first time. Yes. That's going to be on Gibbs. That's Cade Gibbs, and that is going to be... No, wait, they think they've got I think they're confused because they're showing the number 3 on the scoreboard, who is Ual Solomon, who I don't believe has played in this game. So Phillips is good on the free throw, cutting it to 8. So Phillips on his second one. He hit it, and we're down to 7. So Cascade is still in it. And now Cascade. What happened? I didn't catch the call. Maybe he shuffled his feet. I didn't catch it, but anyway, it is Cadets ball. And they're down by 7 with 3:26 to go. Still with an outside shot to pull this off. So now a beautiful move by Alderson. He drives in, spins around, but puts too much off it. It's no good. Rebounded by Plainfield. Now Buher with the ball. And now inside to Bizeau. It's knocked away, however, to Plainfield. 3:09 to go. Plainfield with the ball and a 7-point lead. Inside now to Davis. Double team now. A three-pointer there by Davis. No good. And rebound controlled there by Alderson. Over to Phillips. Now back over to Alderson. Coming off a pick by Du Bois. Still dribbling. Now he pitches over to Tharp. Inside to Du Bois. Guarded by Bizeau. Now posts up. Puts it up off the glass. No good. And rebound by Siegfried. One-on-one to the basket. And he dunks it. Siegfried with the team-high 21. And that pushes the lead back up to 9, 2:18 to go. This game firmly in Plainfield's control. Cascade's got it, maybe a barrage of threes. That's about the only thing that could get him back into it now. But Alderson is fouled, however. And not last time, but the time before, I give Alderson a lot of credit at 5'8", coming up with that rebound. Alderson really, if anything, is an overachiever. I mean, that, he's been, the team's second leading scorer and leader in assists this season. I mean, and now he hits the free throw there. He has 6 on the game, tying for second on the team. Du Bois, by far the leader with 24. So 58-50 your score now. And now is a near steal there while Plainfield is bringing it up. However, the Quakers maintain control. Gives it up to Bizeau, and he draws the foul in the act of shooting, so he will be going to the free throw line. Bizeau with 20. One behind Siegfried for the team lead. As usual, Bizeau, Siegfried, and Davis doing almost all of the scoring for Plainfield tonight. The rest of the team only 5 points combined as Bizeau hits the first one. He has 21 now. He hit them both. So 22 for Gavin Bizeau. He averages 21.8 on the season. It's a 10-point lead now, 1:53 to go. Cascade's got to get something going quickly. Stevenson Over to Phillips at the left perimeter. Pitches across court to Tharp. Now over to Alderson, wide open for three. No good. Rebound by Booher. And he's double-teamed. They're trying to get the ball from him. He gives it up over to Schurig, who gets it past midcourt. So now over to Bizeau, 1:26 to go. So if Cascade has not conceded, and now inside to Bizeau, posts up, but pitches back out now, and if Cascade's going to have to foul very soon if they have not conceded this game. And now in a good steal attempt, Davis is fouled. It could be on either Tharp or Stevenson. On Tharp. That's his third. And that does put Plainfield in the bonus with 1:13 to go in the game and a 10-point lead here at Clayton. Davis no good, misses the front of the 1-and-1. So Cascade still with a very slight chance here. Alderson with the ball. And now pitches over to Phillips, fakes a three, gives it up to Tharp. Now gives over to Alderson, drives into the lane, pitches out to Stevenson for three. In and out. However, Phillips gets the rebound. Now over to Stevenson, drives to the basket. Now pitches out to Phillips. Now over to Alderson, drives a baseline floater, no good. Rebound by Bizeau, and that pretty well does it. 40 seconds to go in the game now. And Cascade doesn't look like they're in any urgency to foul. As Bizeau gets it, drives to the basket, puts it up, and he's fouled with 31.4 seconds to go in the game. So, it was a good effort. I mean, this is one of those games, if you're a Cascade fan, you've got to feel overall fairly good about their performance tonight, as now we finally start to see a few fans file out. Again, we had somewhere, I'd say, between 600 and 700 fans tonight, about equally divided between the two schools. As Bizeau hits the first one, he has 23 now, and he hit them both. So Bizeau with a game-high tying 24. Du Bois also with 24, and it's a 12-point lead. And now a steal there by Davis, so 22 seconds left. And he gives it over to Bizeau, and he is fouled there by either Du Bois or Phillips. It's going to be on Phillips. That's his third. So Bizeau will go to the line to pad his point totals. He hits that one after a couple of bounces. And now Plainfield empties the bench. It's good to see UL Solomon getting some action. I remember he started a lot for JV a couple of years ago when I commentated Plainfield. We commentated the JV games as well, and I thought he had some decent potential. So Bizeau hits the first, misses the second. Nevertheless, his free throw does give him the leading point total in the game with 25. And now a three-pointer there by Phillips. 6 seconds to go, however. Phillips with 11, so Cascade does get a second double-figure score. And that's the game. So Cascade gives a tougher fight than expected, but falls a little short to the better-staffed Plainfield Quakers. Your final score here tonight at Clayton, Plainfield 63, Cascade 55. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to the remainder of the season for both of these teams after these words from our sponsors on WYRZ 98.9 FM LP Brownsburg. The Tie-Dye Lab in Avon is a tie-dye studio designed for creating tie-dye apparel and taking the item home the same day, where shirts, hats, school logo apparel, and more can be made. Space is also available for group outings. They are located at 8100 East US Highway 36 in Avon, and more information can be found online at thetiedyelab.com. Imagine, create, wear. The new Plainfield UPS is now hiring part-time package handlers and part-time supervisors for 3 different shifts: morning, evening, and late night. A weekly retention bonus, pension, benefits, and college tuition reimbursements are available for part-time UPS employees. More information on available positions, online applications, and scheduling an interview can be found at upsjobs.com. Chicago's Pizza in Plainfield offers a meeting room capable of handling business or family holiday functions. It's Kids Night on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8, and a lunch buffet is available Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. They are located at 2230 Stafford Road. That's 2330 Stafford Road in Plainfield. The number for more information is 317-837-1717. That's 317-837-1717. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Well, back here at Clayton for a final time tonight, where the Plainfield Quakers have beaten the host Cascade Cadets in Hendricks County boys basketball action by a score of 63-55. It's a game in which Plainfield was clearly the favorite. They're a 4A team who entered the game at 11-7, while Cascade, a 2A team, entering the game at a record of 9-10, though on a 4-game winning streak. However, Plainfield clearly had the better personnel, led by 6'11" senior center Gavin Bizeau, 31st in the state in scoring, 10th in rebounding, and 7th in shot blocking. Already on his way to play for an NCAA Division I school, Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. And it's a game in which obviously Cascade would have needed a near perfect game to get the win. They did come out with a good game plan, driving in, trying to get him in foul trouble early on, and they got his second foul early in the second quarter, which sent him to the bench. And it had been a 14-11 Plainfield lead after one quarter, and then it was 24-17 lead about midway through the second quarter. However, when Bizeau went to the bench, Plainfield took advantage. They ended up going on an 8-0 run to take what would be their last lead of the game at 25-24. Then Bizeau returned, hit a quick hook shot to put Plainfield back up by one. Then Sam Siegfried hit a three-pointer shortly afterward, and then while Plainfield was trying to bring it down court, got a steal and converted it into a breakaway dunk, and that put the Quakers in the lead for good. And while it was fairly close, 33-27 at the half, Bizeau, I said at the half that a key for Plainfield was to get Bizeau his third foul early in the third quarter, get him back on the bench and take advantage of it. But Bizeau never picked up another foul the rest of the game. And really, with him in the game, there wasn't much that Plainfield could do. And they didn't manage to deny him the ball. And then the other two Plainfield significant scorers, Sam Siegfried and Trey Davis, both did enough, especially Siegfried. My thought from the start would be that if we could if Cascade succeeded at denying Bizeau the ball, and that induced Davis and Siegfried to shoot a lot of threes that didn't fall, then Cascade might be able to pull it out. But it just wasn't to be. So the big three for Plainfield all came through well denied, especially Bizeau and Siegfried. And Cascade's 4-game winning streak comes to an end. A look at the individual scoring, first of all, for the victorious Plainfield Quakers. Gavin Bizeau led the way with 25 points, followed by Sam Siegfried with 21, and Trey Davis with 12. In addition, Braden Chapman had 3, and Aiden Booher had 2. So, again, all season, Plainfield coming into this game They didn't have another player averaging as many as 4 points a game other than the big three of Bizeau, Davis, and Siegfried, but those three are enough tonight for the win. Meanwhile, for the Cascade Cadets, Dalton Dubois led the way as usual with 24. However, it goes way down there. It goes way down from there also as usual. Bryson Phillips finally cracked double figures late in the game with that three-pointer in the final seconds. He had 11. Then, in addition, Michael Alderson had 6. Mason Tharp had 6. Justin Hurst had 2. Ross Stevenson had 2. And Dylan Compliment had 2. So, in conclusion, it was a very good effort by Cascade, who came up with a fairly good game plan, probably about as much as the best game plan they realistically could have. But more than this is the kind of game where you would not only need a good game plan, but also a lot of breaks to go your way as well. The game plan was there. They had a few breaks. They had enough breaks to stay competitive, but not enough to get over the hump tonight. So it was simply the case of a solid 2A team, losing to a good 4A team. No shame in it. And both of these teams certainly, have a lot to feel good about, going down the stretch. Now, let's take a look at what lies ahead. Plainfield, who is now, by the way, clinched with this win tonight, their second consecutive winning season, as did their win over Plainfield last season, clinch a winning season. They return to action. They return to action on Friday. They return to action on Tuesday night, which will be our next broadcast here on WYRZ. They will play the county rival Brownsburg Bulldogs, which should be a very tight, very competitive game. Brownsburg is having a great season. They are knocking on the door of a top 10 ranking, and it looks like they're going to have a good shot to get their second consecutive sectional championship. They currently have a record of 16-4. They are led by 6'3" superstar point guard Cameron Alford, who looks like he's going to be a solid Division I college prospect a year from now. He's only a junior. And it looks like Steve Lynch, is really going to have the Bulldogs as a perennial, top 20 team for many years to come. And so anyway, and by the way, I apologize. I didn't realize that the sectional location had been changed this year. That the sectional that was last year played at Plainfield this year has been moved out to Terre Haute South, although it will have the same 6 teams, including all 3 of the 4A teams here in Hendricks County. That is Brownsburg, Plainfield, and Avon, plus Mooresville, Terre Haute North, and Terre Haute South. But anyway, once again, our next broadcast here on WYRZ will be Plainfield visiting Brownsburg. Plainfield visiting Brownsburg on Tuesday night at 7:15 for the pregame show on that one. And then after that, Plainfield will close out the season with 2 more games. They'll have their senior day next Friday against the Franklin Grizzly Cubs, and then close out the regular season a week from Thursday at Greenfield Central. Franklin has a record of 12-6, while Greenfield Central has a record of 6-13. So basically, looking at the Quakers' last 3 games, they have a probable loss. Not a definite loss, but a probable loss Tuesday at Brownsburg. Then about a 50-50 game with Franklin, although I would give the Quakers an edge playing at home, and then a very likely win at Greenfield Central. So I look for Plainfield to win 2 of their last 3 games heading into the sectional, which would put them at 14-8. And then, meanwhile, let's look at what's ahead for Cascade. The Cadets, with this loss, dropped to 9-11. They only have 2 games left, 2 regular season games left, that is. Starting next Friday, they're going to be out for their last road regular season games of the season against the Western Boone Stars. They're a team that they're a 3A team with a record of 7-10. However, they only have one senior, and he's not even a starter. So with the starting 5 intact, they should be a winning team next season. And that should be about a 50-50 game with the win-lose, as far as the win-loss prospects for Cascade in that one. And then the Cadets will return home for their final regular season game here at Clayton a week from Tuesday. It will be Senior Day, so I especially encourage all of you Cadets fans to get out there for that one. I want you to get to every game for your team, home and away, but especially Senior Day, to honor those great, these great kids who've spent really about a decade pouring in thousands of hours of blood, sweat, and tears, and probably even a few injuries to top it off, into this community and in this program, and just to give them a final farewell and let them know how much you love and appreciate them, and also give them best wishes as they head into the tournament. Unlike since Cascade does host a tournament in girls basketball, the Senior Day for Cascade is not the final home game for the girls, but for the boys, since we don't host a tournament, it is their final home game. They will be playing in the South Putnam sectional. So anyway, all you Cascade fans, please get out here a week from Tuesday to say farewell and thanks to this great senior class of Dalton DuBois, one of the great players in Cascade history, as well as Michael Alderson, Chase Western, and Dylan Compliment. And so, and by the way, our opponent in that game will be the Covenant Christian Warriors. They are a Class 2A team that's been struggling this season, currently with a record of 5-13. So that's a very likely, a probable win for us. And we will be bringing that one to you right here on Audio Sports Online. But again, please get out here if you can for that one. And then Cascade will move on to Sectional 44, which will be the South Putnam Sectional down there at South Putnam High School in Greencastle. It's just the school is just 15 miles down US 40. It's at the corner of US 40 and US 31. And really, it seems to be a foregone conclusion that Cloverdale is going to win that sectional. They have the leading scorer in the state in 5'9", swift penetrating and sharpshooting guard Jalen Moore. You might remember that the last time he played at Cascade, he beat us with a layup on the buzzer. And he's bound to play for Utah State University next season. So anyway, I actually was going to commentate Cloverdale. There was going to be a boys-girls doubleheader between Cascade and Cloverdale, and because of a couple of snowouts, it ended up the doubleheader ended up getting split up. I commentated the girls' game, but not the boys' game. So I'm really hoping that Cascade will run into South Putnam in the tournament, so I will get to commentate Jalen Moore his senior year. Last season he shared time on the court with Cooper Neese, the 7th leading scorer in state history, and Moore actually was the leading scorer last season for that team. Neese has now gone on to play for Indiana State, and like I said, Moore to play for Utah State next season. One final note before I close out, I want to encourage all of you to tune in a week from tomorrow for the announcement of the pairings for the boys sectional. It's going to air live online at ihsaatv.com. That's ihsaatv.com. It's not going to air on regular television, just on the internet. But the good thing about that is that as soon as it's broadcast, then it's going to be archived so you can watch it online anytime you want. So again, that's a week from tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the boys sectional pairings at ihsaatv.com, so you can find out where the Quakers, the Cadets, and the other 400 or so teams in the state, where they're going to be playing and against whom and when. So, once again, your final score here tonight at Clayton. The Plainfield Quakers beat the Cascade Cadets 63-55. Plainfield clinches its second consecutive winning season, improves to 12-7, while Cascade's four-game winning streak is over and the Cadets drop to 9-11. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to tune in again on Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. as the Plainfield Quakers visit the Brownsburg Bulldogs, and then again a week from Tuesday as that's February 20th, as the Cascade Cadets play Senior Day against the Covenant Christian Warriors. Until we meet again, for WYRZ 98.9 FM, LP Brownsburg, the voice of Hendricks County, this is Lec Zorn reminding you there is a difference only you can make.